This segment of the Angus Report is brought to you by Omega Farms, a commitment to environmental stewardship, a place for outdoor recreation and hunting opportunities, and a source for quality, industry-leading Angus genetics. Omega Farms, become a part of the tradition. Visit us at omegafarms.com.
Breeders wanting to maximize the reproductive potential of their cows often turn to embryo transfer, a procedure where embryos from genetically superior females are placed in recipient cows, or recips. In fact, more than 10% of all calves registered at the American Angus Association are the result of embryo transfer. Earlier, we spoke with Genetic Research Director Sally Northcutt to better understand EPDs for those ET calves.
Today in the studio we have Dr. Sally Northcutt. Sally is the Director of Genetic Research for the American Angus Association. Welcome, Sally.
Thank you, Crystal.
You get a lot of questions regarding embryo transfer calves and recips. Can you talk a little bit about that and how they're used in today's seed stock operations?
Sure. Embryo transfer calves account for about 10% of the calves that are registered at the American Angus Association. And where breeders are weighing calves and measuring them, there's sometimes some confusion about what information we can use that's collected on those calves. They're special in the fact that an embryo or ET calf receives half their sire's genetic makeup, and then a sample half of the genes from the donor dam. But the donor dam doesn't raise that calf. The recipient female provides the maternal environment and carries that calf. And so it's an important consideration that we have to make when we think about utilizing the weights on ET calves.
Okay, and how is that done then if a recip is affecting those weights? What differs there?
One thing to consider is when you have an embryo transfer calf, they've gotten that genetics from the donor dam, but they've received the maternal environment from the recipient female. And so the milk that's been provided to them or any environmental impact when the calf was being carried prior to birth ties back to that recipient female. So the more we know about her, the better we can assess the genetic merit of that embryo transfer calf. In order for us to analyze that data, when the recipient female is a registered Angus female, then we're able to actually include her as a third parent. We call it a three-parent model. So you have the sire and the donor dam, and then you have the registered Angus recipient. And this is very important for maternally influenced traits. So boiling it down, you would see the impact on the birth weight EPDs and how we analyze the weaning weight EPDs to get to the milk EPD.
So other traits with less of a maternal focus, this wouldn't be an issue?
Definitely, good point. With traits such as yearling height, scrotal EPDs, ultrasound measures, then we don't have to worry about this maternal component. But in the strictest sense with birth weights and weaning weights and that whole growth EPD complex, the registered recip becomes very important.
All right, well thank you, Sally. If you would like to learn more about ET calves or recips, visit angus.org.